watchers, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Happy Thursday, y'all, and what is going on? Yay, we are to the end of the week, end of the week. That's something to rejoice about. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all again and talking about some good stuff. Getting into these characters' business. But before all of that, let's do our little check-in. Let's see what's going on. All right? But how y'all doing? How you feeling? How's your day going? All of that good stuff, drop it in the comments, okay? I'm going to give you a moment to process. Think back to how your morning began, how was your afternoon, even more so, how your week been, y'all, okay? We got to do that too, okay? Since we at the end of the week, how has your week been, okay? Let me know. What are you expecting? What are you watching? What are you streaming? What are you anticipating that is coming up around the next corner? Are you hanging out with family and friends? Are you enjoying your summer? This blissful, sizzling, toasted summer. I threw so many things out there. For y'all to kind of like really think on and sit there, take a moment, breathe, relax, okay? It's gonna be all right. Whatever it is, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay, okay? I'm telling you that, all right? So y'all take that moment right now and just relax yourself, breathe, okay? Enjoy life, enjoy the moment. Think of something that God has done for you. If you are waiting for him to do the next thing, think about what the last thing he has done for you, okay? And how he came through and he didn't fail you in them surprises, all right? He pulled you out of that mess, okay? Think about that, all right? And throw up a thank you. And if you have not told God thank you today, here's your moment right now. I am reminding you because there's something to be thankful about, Lord. Let's be in that spirit of Thanksgiving. If you ain't tell God you love him, if you ain't tell Jesus you love him today, go ahead and take that moment right now and do that. Just think about how good he is, the goodness of him and what he has done to make sure we have eternal life with him. That is enough to say thank you. That is enough to say I love you. And right now, let me go ahead and say that now for me too, because it always applies to me first, y'all. I love you, Jesus. Thank you for your goodness, your kindness, your compassion. Thank you for this moment to be hanging out with my friends and family. But yeah, y'all know we don't got all of that. We don't got all our introductions out of the way. And we done gave thanks and love to the Lord. Let me tell y'all how I'm doing, okay? I'm doing amazing. Y'all should have seen that coming. Don't be acting brand new, okay? Y'all know I always excited to be spending this time with y'all and looking forward to be getting into these characters' business, okay? Let's see. The week has flown by to me. Like, seriously, y'all. It's kind of, y'all know the moments where it's like, it seems like it's long, like the days are long, or the week may be long, and then next thing you know, it's like, wow, I feel like we just came off the 4th of July weekend, and here we are about to go into the next weekend. Is it just me, or y'all feeling the same way? Okay, sometimes when you in the moment, it seems like stuff is like, oh, time just, can you hurry up, please, time? Come on, time. And next thing you know, it's like, wow, time is really going. Like, seriously, y'all, this year has flown by. Anybody with me on this? The days are flying by. Like, it really is. But yeah, that's what I've been feeling like, y'all. Like, ooh, time just be going, and it seems like it ain't enough time to do all the things that you want to do, you desire to do. And that's why I'm doing my best to make the most of every moment that God has given us, because it's like, it's just going. I don't want to look back with no regrets. I don't want to look back and feel like, what if I would have gave this my all? What if I would have did this over there? And I'm trying to help my future self out, okay? I don't want my future self looking back with shame, regret, and all of that stuff. I want my future self to be happy with the present, beloved. Like, girl, you did your thing. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you for just staying and doing the right thing, making the right choices. Thank you for drawing closer to the Lord, that he may draw closer to you, because you did that. I get to chill a little bit. That's future beloved telling present beloved. But yes, y'all know I gotta throw something out there. I gotta give y'all something to think about and all of that. But yes, y'all can tell by the title of this video, we are back in Chesapeake Shores. Woo, y'all. And it is the perfect time. It's the perfect time to take a little vacation, okay? We're gonna take a moment's vacation, all right? I know you may not be able to pack your bags right now, maybe jump on a plane, get on a boat, go on a cruise and all of that, but it's all right, okay? We going to Chesapeake Shores, all right? We about to hang out at Chesapeake Shores. Y'all got your outfits and everything ready? Got your sandals on, all right? You got something cool because it's gonna be a little bit breezy. The sun gonna be blistering and all of that. Y'all gotta make sure y'all all right. Y'all all right, okay? Let me know you all right. You all right? But yes, we are on season 1, episode 4, and y'all know, child, this family. They cute. But I just love the scenery, and y'all may be feeling the same way with Chesapeake Shores. This whole beachy town, the water, being surrounded by the water, the beautiful homes, cottage-like B&Bs. Oh, it just makes you want to just take a walk or stroll down the road, okay? Because the scenery just always pulls me in every episode. Not to mention, I just love like the opening little song, which is not really a song, but I love the opening. It's beautiful to see this family and how it looks amazing on the outside, but it's like now we all in their business, we in their house, we in their home. We see this family is no different from any other family in any other neighborhood. They have their hang-ups, they got their things that they got to work through, they got their things that they're avoiding. They got all kind of little drama in the midst of their thing, but at the end of the day, they love each other and they always got to come back to home. And that is what I really appreciate about this show. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into Miss Abby here, all right? Y'all know she's been struggling with her ex-husband. They trying to do the whole co-parenting thing. He had brought up in the past some little threats he kind of threw out there, in a sense. At least she took them that way, okay? Making her feel like, who are you, all right? We never had any issues with our kids, like co-parenting and all of that. So why are we ending up here where they are thinking about going to court and having to bring the courts into their whole relationship and their whole co-parenting situation? And Abby does make the decision, the firm decision. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last video of my review of the show because it's been a few weeks. Trying to get better about that. Y'all keep me in y'all prayers. But Abby did make the decision that she is going to move home officially at Chesapeake Shores. She's been offered a job, and today is her first day on the job where her boss introduces her to this new firm. And Abby, she top notch. She's top of the line, okay? She's a powerhouse, and I know I mentioned that in previous reviews, but here we get to really see how she works this room. I mean, she's coming from a big city. She held it down there. New York, y'all know the competition. There's so many different people, so it's a lot more stuff she got to work through, and she did it. She came out on top, and now she's back in a little bit of a smaller city. I think it's Baltimore. I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, but she is like, they want to get this firm a little bit. They want to get this firm kind of really going, and who's better to bring in than Abby? Powerhouse who don't take nothing. Like homegirl, she knows how to command the room. When she walks in there, eyes are looking up. You like, who is that? Okay, I'm all right. I'm dressed okay. Everything you trying to check yourself, make sure you all right, okay? Because like you don't want to face this girl, you don't want to face this lady, right? So she comes in there, introduce herself, and basically get them like this small speech. And this speech is so powerful. Like I said, it's commanding. It really brings forth that personality that she carries to the workplace. How I said, like, she doesn't take no mess. She's confident, almost to the point where a person could possibly say a little bit arrogant, but I won't really go that far as calling her that. I just feel like she's confident in what she does, and she has a lot of things she can kind of like what the word I'm looking for, y'all. She got a lot, like she got some history, okay? It's like, y'all know, the more you do something, the more confident you are in that thing, and you know, like, you're comfortable in that space. And that's pretty much what happens here on her first day. She's comfortable in the space, but you can tell by the rest of her team here, who she'll be leading, that she's not really sure, but she doesn't show it though. When she gives that speech and let them know about basically being first place and all of that, like she's coming here to win, and she's making sure all of them, the whole entire team, wins here, right? And so when she was done with them and she talks to her boss, she was like, did I come off a little bit too strong? Now she's second guessing herself, like she's wondering, because when she looks at the looks of the people who's watching her, she doesn't show it. Like I said, she continues on in her space knowing what she's doing, but she's wondering what they're thinking, because they probably have that look on their face like this is something that they never encountered before. Like it's like lighting a fire underneath them, like, okay, this is something new here. What is this? So Abby does her thing, and her boss really appreciates. He's like, no, she did perfectly. He's ready to take his firm to the next level. And it was clear when she gave that speech today that she is the right person for the job. So right there, we're happy for Abby. We're rooting for her, even though we know that her personal life is a little bit in shambles right now. Her ex-husband did bring home the girls like she told him to do, and basically had to straighten him out, like, don't do that to her again. Don't make her feel like that. Don't make any mama feel like you're taking away their kids, because then it's going to be an issue. So I love the fact that the girls are back in Chesapeake Shores, even though everything hasn't been totally settled with her ex-husband and what they got going on with their co-parenting thing. But her brother, who I told you he is going to school and about to take the bar, he is going to be coaching her through and helping her through this process. So for right now, as far as the co-parenting thing and what they got going on, she can kind of relax a little bit, even though she's still like got that in the back of her mind. But she's like, okay, for now, we're not going to court right now, so let's kind of chill, right? And who's better to help her chill than Trace, y'all? We ain't finna front and act like we don't know that Trace, we want Trace with Abby. We want child. We know we want Trace with Abby and all of that. We know we want him with Abby. You know, they got so much history and so much, it's just so much baggage with them that I personally don't even see it happening anytime soon. Because like I said, with Abby's personal situation with the kids and stuff, that's always going to be at the forefront. That's always going to take first place. And I just don't think that she's ready to put her heart out there right now with Trace. But maybe, and I was reminded of that in this episode, is it that, or is it you feel like Trace gonna always be there? You know what I'm saying? That's probably what you're feeling like. You're feeling like Trace is gonna always be there, that there's no threat right there, until we got Trace's past show up in Chesapeake Shores this episode. Now we starting to see the real Abby. Now you all of a sudden got time for Trace. You all of a sudden, you kind of rethinking what y'all could have, if it's a possibility that y'all can have something. Now you want to think all that, Abby. Well, what is with y'all with this, okay? It's like when you got your chance, you got your opportunity, go ahead and embrace it. Why are y'all playing? Because people be taking stuff as a joke. And I love this, that like this Trace homegirl from his band shows up in town, has a motive, has intentions, as she should, okay? That makes it more interesting. We finna act like we finna act like we don't want it to be more interesting, okay? So Trace's past shows up and is very concerning to Abby's sister Jess, okay? Jess has her B&B. It's not officially ready to be opened up yet, but it's getting close there, right? So Trace's homegirl from the band, right, need a place to stay, of course, and who better to stay at a B&B that is close by in a neighborhood not that far from Trace's home, right? And so when Jess realized who she is, this is a famous singer, songwriter, a part of Trace's band, she's excited to lend out her a space to her, even though she's not officially opened up. She's like, come on, girl. And then she started, you know, Jess, you play too much, okay? I get protecting your sister and stuff, but as soon as she realized exactly that Trace's bandmate here might have a motive, and that motive could kind of step on her sister's toes, just jump into action, okay? She's about protecting her sister. She's trying to get all the information she can get about Trace's past and what this girl is up to. But of course, she's trying to do it in a subtle way, but she ain't gonna confront her straight up. But she does get together with her sister Bree and say, okay, we gotta do something about this. We can't let Abby like walk into this trap here. We at least gotta warn her, let her know that Trace's past is here. Maybe they might be getting together. Maybe they are in a relationship. Something is going on here. We need to find out, girl, okay? Even though Bree is like, nah, let's just chill. We don't really know what's going on. And Bree is supposed to be moving into the cottage on her family's property to focus on her writing, to get, she wants to be a novelist, and she been having some writer's block. So she has her own thing that she needs to focus on, and she's like, she can't get a break because now we got this to worry about with Trace's past and how is this gonna fit their sister Abby and all of that. And so you got all of that going on, right? And so let me tell you about Trace's bandmate here. She basically tell him straight up, you need to come back to Nashville. You left, and that wasn't right that you left, okay? We have a contract. We got things that we need to uphold, and music is your life. Stop. What are you running from? What are you at? Why are you acting brand new here, Trace, okay? What's going on here? And so she's trying to basically persuade him to come back to Nashville. His mind, Trace's mind is made up. He's done with that. That is part of his past. And on top of that, so are you. I was like, oh, Trace, what happened? Okay, what happened in y'all past? Were y'all together at some point? Or you kind of tiptoed around that? What happened in Nashville, okay? We don't get the full story here. We get little bits of pieces leaking out. And that's the same thing with Abby been trying to get out of Trace for the longest. Like, what is going on here with him? What has happened here in his past that he's not telling her? Because they both kind of been holding back from each other, I guess. More so Abby kind of process things. That's how she process things more inwardly. And then she'll get to the point where she express stuff. That's pretty much Abby. Trace is on a whole nother thing. You're actually keeping a secret. Something happened. You won't talk about it. But now it's like you're kind of going to be forced to face this because you have your past that done caught up with you. And she is in town. And homegirl won't leave. She even went to his house, and all the day he had to kick out the house. That's why she ended up in the B&B. But she is determined to get him to come back to Nashville, and she's staying up in his face, okay? And now that Abby knows that, okay, Trace may got something else going on. He may have something else going on. You ain't his world. You ain't all that, Abby. You ain't all that. Okay, I know I'm saying that in that sense. Y'all know I love Abby, homegirl, my sister. Love you, dear. Okay, I really do. You know, girl, you know I got your back. You know I got your back every day, okay? We ain't gonna play. You know I got your back, Abby. Because I told you I got full respect for Abby. But at the same time, I don't like when people be playing them kind of games, okay? If you have feelings for Trace, and you're possibly thinking of trying to work something out or whatever the case may be, tell him, confront that. Y'all are grown here, okay? Confront it, talk about it, do whatever you have to do. But playing these little games and kind of leading somebody on or feeling like somebody need to be staying there or chasing you and all that stuff, I don't like that, okay? I really don't. I know I laugh at it and stuff like that because it is funny, but when you think about it like in real time, real sense, it ain't cool to be playing with somebody like that. Let people know what it is, okay? So if they can move on with their life, but keeping somebody stuck in a place just because you're not ready or you're not sure and you kind of want to dibble and dab, okay, you want to be in a moment, have that little moment, that little spark, and y'all know that little moment, the moment, okay, and then you want to pull back. It's like, what is that doing to him? What is that saying to him? Especially when this man has loved you since y'all were like kids, y'all were sweethearts and stuff like that, and you left him stuck. You went off to New York because you felt like that was better. You wanted something more sure. You and chose somebody that you felt like was more sure, and now look at you. Everything is in shambles. You're not even sure about whatever you got going on. You had to come back home, and you're struggling in a sense. And all the while life was going on for you, and you was building a life for yourself, Trace has been stuck. He's been going back and forth in this moment with you, in a sense, chasing you in his mind and his heart, knowing he would never have you. And all of this stuff is still trying to build a career for himself. And now he's to a point in his life where it's almost like, where in a sense he's kind of stuck, like you kind of stuck, and he's dealing with his choices, that you're dealing with your choices, and y'all are just in a place of, please help me out here, okay? You got me confused, all right? You really got me confused here, okay? And so that's what's going on with Trace and Abby here. We see a little bit of jealousy in this episode because Abby does show up like at the restaurant here, and she sees Trace sitting there with his old bandmate, and she don't know how to handle that. She really doesn't. Like, you can tell, like, Abby is always like together, like you never, like, confident all the time, especially in the workplace. But now Trace actually saw a moment of vulnerability here. Like, she looked like she was caught off guard. This is something that she didn't expect, and she practically ran off. And Abby, when you gonna get it, girl? That's why you ended back up home here, because you're running. Will you please stop running, girl, and face your stuff, face your mess. Now face it, all right? You too grown to be running from stuff, okay? You're too grown, Abby. You know I got respect for you. I love you, girl. You my sister and everything, but I gotta tell you how it is. Stop it, all right? Stop it, okay? So you got Trace dealing with his past, facing that, because whatever happened, some tragedy happened back in Nashville that he's not telling us, okay? And he is struggling on top of dealing with his heart that he has for Abby here. And then on the other hand, we got Connor, okay? Child Connor, what you got going on, right? Connor with his mommy issues coming to the forefront here. Connor goes back to New York, but who shows up at his door, in a sense uninvited? His mama. And he don't know how to handle that. He invite her into his apartment, and his mom says stuff is crazy because she doesn't mean no harm. She just being a mom. She's protective. She knows that she has a lot to make up for because they haven't had the best kind of past, in a sense. And that's all she's trying to do here with all her grown children, is be a mom. And it's like, you don't get too old where you don't need mama no more. I personally feel that way, and these kids know that, these grown kids know that, but they still are dealing with so many different her past choices and struggling with that, and they're not sure of how to let mommy in, all right? And that's what Connor is dealing with here in this episode. He does kind of lash off at his mother and says some things that you just can't take back. She runs out of his apartment crying, tears pouring down her face. And the only relationship that she seems to have on a good note with her grown kids is her older son, Kevin, who's off in the army, military or whatever. So she gets to talk to him in this episode, you know, online or whatever. And he was like, he's deciding to leave the military. He's gonna be home soon. And the episode ends, because I'm trying to wrap it up right quick, because I see you're like, oh my goodness, I'm already 22 minutes in. I ain't trying to hold y'all that long, okay? So the episode pretty much ends with the Kevin, like, getting some news about Kevin that something done happened to him. They don't know exactly what happened. Is he hurt? Is he dead? Is he just missing? They have no clue what's going on. So the family is kind of, this moment of tragedy, this moment of a little bit of trauma here is pulling them all together to do something, to talk about this, to pray. Well, Grams is more the prayer warrior here in the family, and she's like, we have to pray about it. We have to basically stay positive about this and see what, because they don't really have any information at this point. So best to do is pray and be hopeful, and we're hoping that Kevin comes home, especially since he just mentioned to his mom not long ago that he's gonna be leaving the military and he's kind of done. He kind of want to be back home with family and settle into a life. And she was happy to hear that. And then all of this happened. We don't know where he at. He missing everything. So it's like, child, what's going on? Okay. So that's pretty much how this episode ends. And this is season 1, episode 4. So I'm going to be going into episode 5, watching it at some point, probably tomorrow. I don't think I have time today to do it. But yeah, that's what happened, y'all. Oh, child. And I like Kevin. I really do, because he seemed like mature out of all the grown siblings here. And he's such a sweetheart, very kind, well-mannered, loving. Oh yeah, in a previous episode, I don't think I ever mentioned, he's the only sibling here, the oldest kid here, well, the only adult child here that's starting to have a relationship with the Lord, like kind of gave his life to Christ. So he's starting to realize the meaning of life and all these different things and how precious life is, and there's something more beyond them that is like, we know it is. We got the Lord here on this channel. So he's starting to go more in that direction. And then I was like, here we go with this. This gonna happen? So yeah, y'all. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna pray for it. We're gonna pray for it, okay? But before I leave y'all, let me go ahead and get into the scripture, y'all. And we are coming out of, and this is perfect for Connor. He needs this, all right? Proverbs 19, verse 26. And it reads, he who mistreats his father and chases away his mother is a son who causes shame and brings reproach. And that was perfect for Connor, because that's what he had going on in this episode. And I should have checked you in this episode, but because this video is already getting long enough and I don't want it to get too long, I'm gonna let you pass. I'm gonna let you pass for that, Connor. But you're wrong for that. I don't care how you feeling or whatever. That's your mama. That's your mama now, okay? But yeah. So yeah, y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feeling, all of that. What are y'all thinking about the show? Have you watched the show? Are you watching along with me? Are you enjoying these reviews / recaps? Let me know all of that in the comments, because y'all know, I'm gonna say this again, I do not read minds. I don't do that, okay? So until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.